would like to call the meeting to order and welcome everyone.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the schedule of meetings adopted at the organizational meeting held on January 6, 2025. Adequate notice of this regular meeting of the Kenilworth Board of Education has been provided to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the local source on January 16, 2025. A copy has been filed with the Kenilworth Borough Clerk, posted in the board office, the Kenilworth Borough Hall, Brearley, and Harding Schools, as is provided by the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you, Mr. Ganal. Please rise and join us in the salute to the flag. Mr. Ganal, when you're ready, can we please have roll call?
Yes. Biner. Here. Crincoli.
Here.
David. Here. Ferrara. Haberthur.
Here.
Cardina.
Here.
Ladati.
Here.
Panici.
Here.
Zimmerman.
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay, thank you. We will now have receiving of the minutes of the secretary from August 11, 2025, the regular monthly meeting, and from August 25th, 2025, from the special meeting. Can I please have a motion to receive the minutes from those dates?
Motion. Second.
Okay, motion made by Dr. Concoli, seconded by Mr. Biner. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Mr. Ganello, do we have any monthly correspondence?
We do not.
Okay, perfect. We will now move on to superintendent's reports and presentations. Superintendent Davies.
Thank you, Dr. Panici. Good evening, everyone. Starting off tonight will be Mr. Ganella's report on the referendum projects as an update.
Change this. Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Tonight, I'd like to shift the focus and focus on how we got where we are with our referendum projects. We began sharing these monthly construction updates with the public back in January of 2024, so 18 months ago. And since then, we've accomplished a tremendous amount of work, investing more than $27 million. I'm pleased to report that the overall project came in on time and under budget. While a few finishing touches remain, our goal of having students in the new addition by September 2025 was achieved. These completed projects are already transforming the student experience and strengthening our community. Sixth graders are now learning in a true middle school setting with access to high school level science labs, dedicated art rooms and music rooms, and expanded classroom space. Our pre-K and special education programs now have room to grow, keeping more Kenilworth students in the district. Upgraded athletic facilities and fields and auditoriums are enriching both sports and arts, while new HVAC systems have improved air quality, comfort, and energy efficiency throughout our district. Together, these investments are enhancing academic opportunities, student well-being, and the long-term reputation of the Kenilworth Public Schools. Okay, why isn't this working? Hold on one second.
I just arrow.
Need a backup plan. So I'd like to go over some of the referendum planning milestones. We started this process, believe it or not, back in July of 2019. Then COVID hit, so we took a pause on our discussions. And we picked it up right as soon as we possibly could after COVID in March of 2021, when the board restarted those discussions. By August of 23, the Finance Committee was already taking a look at the projects. By September 21, the board improved the goals of a referendum project. In April of '22, the board passed a resolution to pursue the referendum, and then voted on a resolution that would allow us to pursue that with the Department of Education. In May of '22, the board presented before the Kenilworth Planning Board. We went up to the planning board and laid out our plan with the borough officials up there. Then in August of '23, we submitted our plans to the Department of Education, who approved not only the educational specifications, but the actual plans themselves. And on August 8th, we had a board vote to authorize the submission of a bond proposal question to the voters. And then October 6th, we voted and the community approved the referendum. So that was the planning process. Then we got into the construction phase. August 14th of '23, the phase 1, which was the HVAC projects, was awarded to our contractor Unitemp. Phase 1 of the athletic fields was awarded on September 11th. On October 10th, the phase 3 additions was awarded to Shorelands. And on June 13th, oh boy, what does that say? Phase 2, the unit ventilators. So by June 13th, thanks to the KEA and the teachers, they were fantastic. We were able to do that while school was in session, which was fantastic. I know it was an inconvenience. We basically got 5 classrooms done a week, inconveniencing those teachers, but they were supportive of that, and we do really appreciate that. Otherwise, that would have pushed this whole process probably a whole nother year. So that was phase 2, which was completed by June. And then phase 1 of the track was, we had our grand opening, our ribbon cutting ceremony on August 8th, where the teams were out there and the cheerleaders were out there. We had a great night opening up the new complex for that. And then finally, the new addition, which includes multiple phases, was complete by September 8th of this year. So this is consistent with our plan all along, that back in December of 2023, we had the groundbreaking for the David Brearley Middle School and the high school science wing addition. So there you can see some of the same characters are there that were involved in the process back then. This is the phase 1. As I said, this was a renovation of Ward Field, which included a synthetic turf field as well as a new synthetic track. So this was the project ongoing, and this is the completed project. Phase 2 was HVAC upgrades. You could see each one of those unit ventilators was removed from every classroom and installed with a new unit with HEPA 13 filters, which are routinely replaced. So we get really good air quality in those classrooms. This is the phase 3 of the addition and the renovations. You can see there, it's got the elevator shaft in there and the slab down. Thought this would be more interesting than just a empty field. So I picked this one for the start of the project, and here is the almost completed project as of a couple weeks ago. So some other phases of this project included the full renovation of both the Harding and the Brearley auditoriums. Harding seats were over 100 years old, and Brearley's were close to 60, if not plus 60 plus. So they both needed some redoing. If you go in there now and you really notice the difference in not only the aesthetics but the improved sound quality really has been improved in there. And Harding is really a cute little space for that building. In fact, our first day of school back with the teachers, we used that. Mr. Davies decided to use that as the venue for his opening ceremony and his update to the staff, and we were able to get the entire faculty, which was close to 250 people, down on the first floor of the auditorium. So it was very nice to be able to do that. So another part of this, the renovation was the new lobby out front. Really never really had a great entrance. So this entrance is not only used for students during the day, but would be used for athletics as well as the auditorium. So it's a nice, very nice space, an inviting space, I think, for not only our students and our staff, but as visitors as well. And also part of the middle school was renovations of the old back gym into the middle school multi-purpose room, which included new sanding of the floors, new paint, air conditioning, installation of windows, and a place for the cafeteria and storage for the cafeteria tables in the back there. Also included in the renovation, as you know, was because we took the science rooms away from the high school on the second floor, they were without science rooms. So this gave us an opportunity to really upgrade our science rooms to really state-of-the-art science rooms and labs for our high school students, and that's the first floor of the addition. And that's an overall picture of the facility as you see it now. This was taken the other day with the new fields, the new addition. It's even got the new Harding playgrounds in there, which were also not really part of the referendum, but they were done, and they're very nice, and I think kids are enjoying that. So the next step is phase 4, which is our early childhood education project, which will be converting two existing Harding classrooms into pre-K space for either 3 or 4-year-olds. This will allow us, project will put bathrooms within the facility, so we don't have to go for a waiver with the county office to use aids or some other way to provide toilet access to students. So that will hopefully start in June of 2026. So as a wrap up, I'd like to just talk about the benefits of the referendum project. Unified middle school experience, 6th graders now learn in a unified middle school with high school labs, music rooms, art rooms, and expanded classrooms. State-of-the-art high school science labs for our high school students, expanded early learning and special education for over at Harding, upgraded athletic and arts facilities, healthier and more efficient building due to the HVAC systems, and then enhanced community value investments, strengthening student opportunities, district reputation, and property appeal. I want to recognize some people, since this is going to be my last formal presentation on the referendum, whose efforts to support this made this whole process possible. Of course, our superintendent, Mr. Davies, Finance Chair Ladati, and the full Finance Committee. You won't believe how many hours we spent reviewing these plans and going through the finances of that. The full Board of Education for your support. It's been tremendous. The teachers and staff who all played a key role in the planning of the implementation of this improvements. The voters and the borough officials provided the backing needed to move forward. I also want to thank Justin Connolly, our Supervisor of Buildings and Grounds, my secretary, Angela Sandel, who has this really nice knack for picking colors that I don't have. My staff, our professional partners, our architects and engineers, and our construction management team for their expertise and persistence in keeping the work on time and under budget. This was truly a collective effort and has delivered, I believe, lasting benefits for the Kenilworth students and the community. So if there aren't any questions, thank you.
I have a quick comment. You did say Superintendent Davies, but there was multiple superintendents, multiple board members, but there was one constant, and that was you, the business administrator, and you really knocked this out of the park. And on behalf of the community, way to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ganella. Moving on with the superintendent's report, I'm going to be presenting from up there one very brief thing, the dynamic learning maps results, and then I want to talk about the opening of our school year as well as the upcoming strategic planning, which I hope is a nice community participant event. Good evening again, everyone. Before I provide my presentation on the launch of this exciting school year, I want to provide you with some information on dynamic learning maps test results, which is something that I must do by state statute. Dynamic learning maps, otherwise known as DLM, assesses our students who are the most significantly cognitively disabled children. We test students in grades 8 and 11. In the 24-25 school year, we tested 4 students. The DLM helps teachers and support staff identify student strengths and weaknesses to guide instruction and foster academic growth towards post-secondary goals. Of the 4 students tested district-wide, 2 attend David Brearley. The other 2 are out-of-district students. As a result of the very low numbers, I am not permitted to display information about those 2 students, as you can imagine. But please know that students are scored in a range of skill levels. They are either emerging, approaching the target, at target, or advanced. And our students are doing well along that continuum, and we are using those test results to better provide instruction for those 2 individuals. So that is the dynamic learning maps test results. Moving into my main presentation, as superintendent, I'm really pleased to report that we've had a truly amazing start to the 25-26 school year, and I want to attempt to relay to the board and to the public the energy, the positivity, and the momentum that exists within the halls of Harding, within the halls of David Brearley Middle School, and within the halls of David Brearley High School. Tonight, I'm really proud of what we've accomplished in the last few years with the referendum, as you saw from Mr. Ganella. I'm also really proud over the past few months as we've dealt with significant loss of state aid. And I'm also really proud of the last few weeks as our teachers, staff members, and administrators really came together to produce a successful back-to-school experience for our students. So when I think about all of those factors, and we had such a smooth opening to the school year, it's really fantastic and a testament to this community and to our staff for what a smooth transition into the school year that it was. We began by welcoming back our Kenilworth School District staff on September 3rd. And they were met by the Harding and Brearley PTOs with a beautiful welcome back breakfast in all 3 schools. Specifically, Harding's PTO kicked it up a notch this year by making eggs and hash browns on a griddle. And it was really impressive, so kudos to the Harding PTO for that. It was really, really wonderful. We provided a significant amount of time for teachers this year to be in their classrooms during these days. That was really important because at every level, the staff rolled up their sleeves and got it done, so we could welcome back our students on time. A specific shout out to our middle school staff, as well as our high school science teachers. They bore the brunt of the inevitable construction delays that kept us from allowing them into their classrooms during the summer. They were only able to enter their classrooms on September 2nd. So they had to turn around a completely blank classroom into the dynamic learning spaces that they are now to welcome our students back on September 8th. So hats off to those folks. Really fantastic job. Thank you. On the first day, our first day of professional development ended with my superintendent's welcome. As Mr. Ganella said, I did that in the Harding auditorium. And that's where I try to frame the school year with some words of motivation. This year's theme was chalk. I went old school. My message attempted to propel us into the future as we embrace all the new around our campus while simultaneously anchoring us in the school traditions of the past, like old school chalk and blackboards. On their way into the Harding Auditorium on that first day, at the end of that first day, each staff member was prompted to pick up a piece of chalk, and they settled in for a little Davies inspiration. In addition to some district updates and an overview of our district priorities, I shared the following with the staff, saying, "You hold the chalk now. You, Kenilworth School District staff, have such an opportunity in your hands to write the story of your classrooms, your hallways, your buildings, your playgrounds, this district. This is your district just as much as it is the community's. The 25-26 school year marks a beautiful opportunity to move forward into the future while honoring the academic traditions of the past. We have new, shiny, clean, beautiful spaces. Of course, not everything is perfect right now. Your room might be missing something today, but let's not let perfection get in the way of greatness. Great teaching can come in the form of a lowly piece of chalk. It's not the Promethean board that makes great teaching. It's not the bookshelf. It's not the arrangement of the desks. It's not the size of the room. It's the person holding the chalk. It's you. As we launch the 25-26 school year, I challenge you to educate in such a way that we prepare our students for the future by honoring the traditions of the past, by being that teacher who can seize opportunities to connect the outside world to the curriculum, by being that educator who capitalizes on aha moments and goes down a curricular rabbit hole. I want you to teach them lots of things. I want you to help them discover meaning and connections. In addition to the ABCs and the 3 R's, I want you to keep them minding their P's and their Q's while also dotting their I's and crossing their T's. I expect a lot, and so should you, of yourselves, because you're the ones holding the chalk, and that's where the greatness lies. From there, all of us went outside of Harding to the playground, Blacktop, and we collaboratively, as a full district staff, we displayed our Kenilworth pride for the entire school community to see, and so that's some of the results there in images. Each staff member with their piece of chalk came out and colored in a little piece of the Kenilworth Pride 25-26 on the blacktop, and I personally thought it was a special moment, trying to rally our community together around the success of our school district and to celebrate all the wonderful things that are going on in our school district, and I think it was a nice kickoff to the school year. You can see some of our teachers who are here tonight pictured in the images there, as well as the entire district staff at that bottom picture on the right. That's the whole district staff engaged in coloring that piece of blacktop there. So that was a nice day, September 3rd. As the staff were busy preparing their classrooms, Mr. Gunnell, if you go to the next slide, we began welcoming students into their new and improved spaces through various orientation programs. At Harding, the annual preschool and kindergarten ice cream social brought out many families with their young ones. Not that any child needs more than free ice cream from a truck, but this year's ice cream social was enhanced by the upgraded playground equipment over at Harding. So that was a nice added feature to our ice cream social this year. Also at the middle school, Principal Pavlicek held not just one orientation program this year, but 2. One for the incoming 7th graders, of course, as we've always done, but also another one for the 6th graders. The first time our district has had a 3-grade level middle school. Meanwhile, Mr. Perillo held his 9th grade orientation at the high school, where students received their new school-issued Chromebooks and took a tour of their first-floor high school classrooms. After the orientation day on September 4th, we then move into our first day of school, which was September 8th. So on September 8th, it was a wonderful day for Kenilworth School District. Just to give you some numbers, we welcomed 539 students to Harding. That Harding is grades preschool through grade 5. We had 347 middle schoolers, grades 6 through 8. And then at the high school, we have 527 high school students. That's, of course, grades 9 through 12. The total district enrollment is 1,413 as of September 8th. Also, just in terms of student enrollment, know that we have about 30 preschool students waiting in the wings to enter Harding Elementary School in January, as Mr. Gunnella said. Thanks to the referendum and the movement of 6th grade from Harding to Brearley and all the space that was created thanks to the referendum, we're able to open up those additional pre-K classrooms coming in January, and then we'll be refurbishing them soon thereafter. This is important to remember when you look at that new construction. It wasn't just about new high school science labs and additional middle school classrooms. That work freed up classroom space at Harding for us to expand our preschool services, and I have to imagine the community of Kenilworth is appreciative of that. Our next slide takes us into the new wing grand opening. Again, this was just a fantastic opening to our school year. Same day, September 8th, in the evening, we held a grand opening ceremony for the David Brearley new wing. Those same students that you saw in Mr. Gannella's picture just a few moments ago, those ones who dug the first shovels of soil at the groundbreaking ceremony 2 years ago, they joined us for a full circle ribbon cutting moment this past Monday, a week ago. We had Brearley Middle School Student Council as well as cheerleaders. In addition to the students in attendance, there were many people to thank for getting us to this successfully meet the goals of the referendum. I won't re-thank people, but thank you all for everything. You're up there on that board. It was wonderful to hear the inspirational words from Ms. Pavlicek and our middle school student speaker, Dylan Jackanet. We also heard inspirational words from Dr. Panici, who said the following: "This new facility is more than just a building. It's a fresh start and a new chapter. It's an invitation to learn from the past, live fully in the present, and build an incredible future, right here, together, in these very hallways. So let the learning begin, let the friendships begin, let the memories begin." Those were wonderful words, Dr. Panici. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being there as part of the ceremony. In order for that learning to happen, as Dr. Panici said, and enable each child to reach his or her potential, the district has committed itself to 3 district priorities this school year. I emailed these priorities out to the community over the past several days. I just want to reiterate them now for the board and for the public. These district priorities take us from student growth to district growth. The first is attendance. We want to make sure that we are getting our students to school on time so that they can be present and ready to learn. Can't learn if you're not here. We want our kids to be here. So we want to make sure that our attendance is top notch. As you know, we are on a corrective action plan due to chronic absenteeism. We want to reverse that, and we're taking steps as a district to do that, and we're working to partner with parents to make sure that we get our attendance on the right footing. The second goal, or the second priority, I should say, is the interpersonal behaviors of our students. We want to make sure that we're fostering a positive place, a positive school environment. You can't learn if you're not here. You also can't learn if you don't feel safe in your school building, or if people are bullying you, or whatnot. We want to make sure, and we target that this school year, more so than we have in the past. We want to make sure that this is an area of growth for us. So again, I want to partner with our parents. I've told our administrative team and our teachers that we're taking a harder stance towards any misbehaviors, because we have to have a zero tolerance approach to that type of learning environment that causes students to not want to come to school. Our third goal, our third priority for the school year is homework. We are recommitting ourselves to making sure that homework is meaningful, that it is assigned, and that we follow through with our students to make sure that they can be reinforcing concepts that were taught in the classroom, and those concepts can be reinforced at home through independent work. So those are our three priorities. Parents, again, receive those email notifications about each one of these priorities from me. They'll also be hearing more details from their building principals and upcoming communications, as well as via teachers at back-to-school nights. We believe that shining the light on these priorities will complement the hard work our teachers are tackling with instruction. And when students can grow because their attendance is strong, when students can grow because they feel safe and welcome, when students can grow because meaningful homework is enhancing the lessons in the classroom, when all three of these district priorities are working, student achievement will grow and our district will grow. So I'm excited for that. My final slide for the night is simply about our strategic planning. This is such an opportunity for our district. We have the construction now under our belts. We have these brand new spaces. We have such opportunity ahead of us. Our teachers have the chalk in their hands to be those great teachers. Now we want the community to take part in our next steps. That's called strategic planning. So we set our sights on big picture thinking. That's another name for strategic planning. And I just want to make sure that the community is aware that on October 8th, we have our first strategic planning night. The community is invited to come to this. We want your voices. We want your input into how the next phase of Kenilworth School District is going. We're going to be creating a 5-year plan. So your voice is important. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. on October 8th. I'll start the meeting with a State of the Schools address where I kind of do an overview of what we see as our concerns, as our issues, as our areas of focus. Then we'll be opening up the meeting to parent and community member involvement. So that'll be at 6:30 on October 8th at Brearley Middle School's new STEM lab. And then there's additional dates after that. So that's our first meeting for strategic planning. The next meeting is November 12th, where we're going to take those ideas and start formulating goals. And then the final meeting for strategic planning will be December 3rd, where we're going to finalize our strategic plan. And then after that, I'll be communicating out our strategic plan to the board and to the public. So again, this is an opportunity for the public to come and get involved and have their voices heard in their school district. Again, this is such an opportunity for our school district as we now have the facilities. I mean, our students are so proud to be going and walking these halls. Our teachers are embracing this. It's been a great start to the school year, and I'm looking forward to strategic planning. Thank you. Any questions?
Sure, I just have one question. On the October 8th evening, are you going to address, like, you know, you mentioned homework, the absenteeism. Is that not the night for that? Or, you know, we have an issue with homework you mentioned, right? We have an issue with absenteeism or tardiness, whatever you want, whichever one you want, category you want. So is that something you want to do on the 8th? Touch on that a little bit?
I will
or
be
are
touching
you-
upon that. Yeah, the idea of the State of the Schools is to celebrate things, but also shine a light on areas of
That's what I said.
concern.
It does-
Absolutely.
That may not be the night for it, but
Yeah,
I
I
think it
think-
should be done with the parents.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's perfect opportunity for it.
Okay.
Hopefully people are reading my emails. I send a lot of them. I was told the other day that I'm over-communicating. I've never heard that before. I guess that's a good thing, maybe. But yeah, so I think that's
Great, thank you.
absolutely. Yeah. Other questions? Okay. Also in your packet there's no HIB report because it was the summer, so we didn't have any HIBs. And I gave you the enrollment report already in my presentation, so that concludes my superintendent's report. Thank you, Dr. Panici.
Thank you. Packets here if anyone has questions about it. Okay, thank you, Superintendent Davies. At this time, we will have report of committees, review of resolutions, and board discussion. Up first is Finance, Facilities, and Negotiations. Mr. Ladai.
Hi, good evening, everybody. As you can tell, the buildings are open to the students. I just want to give a special thanks to the maintenance and custodial staff for getting everything ready. Transportation has started off smoothly with all routes secured. The cafeteria operation is up and running. We are working out some kinks in the new middle school multi-purpose room. As you may or may not know, we received $750,000 restricted state aid grant for site improvements. The only thing we could use that money for is for site improvements. The funding was secured through discussions with Senator Cryan and Assemblywoman Quijano. And this evening, the committee met, the Finance Committee met with Mr. Cannella and Mr. Davies. We went over a bunch of things that we need to get done or can get done. We're going to come up with a formal plan, and we'll present that next meeting. Just a little special shout out to Dr. Panici, Mr. Ganella, and some of the members on this, Mr. Davies, and some of the members on this Finance Committee. So, you know, several calls to Senator Cryan. We met with Senator Cryan. We pleaded our case, and in the end, it worked out. Hoping for more, but we got something. I know it was a little restrictive, but again, just a lot of effort to get some of this money and to try to get some of our finances back. So I think it's all good. Mr. Ganella already reviewed the referendum project this evening. I know I don't want to get into it, but Joe mentioned the job Mr. Ganella did, but the committee also met countless hours, countless meetings, lots of emails, going over every plan, change orders, reducing the initial budget. I mean, this all started with the concept in 2019, so that's how long we've been kind of going through this whole project, from concept to the referendum getting passed, the construction, to review, going through the building, making sure everything was right. So a lot of effort was put in by the Finance Committee. So just thanks, guys. Going to resolutions, I reviewed all the financial resolutions. They're all proper. I found no outliers. For resolution number 4, line item transfers, there were none that exceeded our cap. Moving on to resolution number 5 is conferences and workshops. Just want to give a special thanks, if you read that, Mr. Gagliardi, our board attorney, is doing an employment law seminar for him for nothing, no charge, so that's good. Thank you for that.
And we feed you breakfast and lunch, by
Yeah, I'm invited though.
the way. I can get you in if you need.
So, resolution 6 is field trips. Mr. Davies is actually going on this one?
All right.
Are you? I thought that's what I read.
Some of our teachers.
Oh, okay. I thought I read that you were going on it.
love to. I want to.
But I just want to say, it's a great thing. It's it's for the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, so I think that's really a great field trip for the kids. 7 are payments to the contractors. I reviewed all of them. The services performed in association for the 2022 referendum. All 4 payments were reviewed and the payments were appropriate. 8, 9, and 10 are annual confirmation statements of assurance to make sure that we are aligned with the state requirements. That's the safety and security plan, paraprofessional staff, and chemical hygiene plan. If you have, I don't know if you got to read it all, but it's like 70 pages, all that information, so it's fun reading if you didn't read it. 11 is the PTO donation of $30,000. And finally, it is the,
Can I ask a question about 11?
sure.
Why are we giving them back to them?
So
Do you want-
we.
Okay.
You want me-
No, you can go, go ahead.
So they gave it to us with the intention of doing this outdoor space. As we were working with contractors, it was continually exceeding the budget. Forget, we're a school district, we have certain restrictions on how we do things. I mean, if I wanted to build that building, I could have done it a lot cheaper, but because there are a lot of restrictions and regulations, we felt that the contractors would be better off working directly with the PTO. So we have a contractor in mind, and that person wants to work with the PTO, but they can do it.
But
The
originally,
the PTO is on board with us, as far as I know.
but the PTO originally gave the money because of, they wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything that the school board had to.
We're still reviewing the project.
So we're still- okay.
We're still in, we're providing how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to be. Mr. Bobnowski is reviewing that. Going back with the PTO, it's their project. It's
It's
not.
their project, but we do help them meeting all
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, it's, yes.
Okay, so, the applied behavioral analysis, as you can see, that's the aftercare program at Harding School. All the costs for that are through parent insurance. It's none of the responsibility of the board's education, sorry. We have no responsibility for compensation, benefits, liability. You saw in the packets, there's hold harmless agreements for the parents to sign and for the ABA group to sign. And that's on pages 72 and 73 of your packets. And 13 is tuition reimbursement for Mr. Davies. And that's all I have. Oh, and there's nothing new on negotiations. That's it.
Any other questions for Mr. Ladati?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ladati. Up next, Personnel Management, Mr. Haberford.
Thank you. There are 10 resolutions tonight. Number 14 is acceptance of a resignation. 15 is hiring a business teacher in Brewerly. 16 is 25, 26 paraprofessional and lunch aides. Resolution 17 is an adjustment in salary. Resolution 18 is a staff transfer. Resolution 19 is a maternity leave of absence request approval. Resolution 20 are additional teaching sections for the 25-26 school year. Resolution 21 are co-curricular stipend positions for the 25-26 school year. Resolution 22 is the approval of student teachers, and Resolution 23 is the approval of substitute staff. That is it.
Any other questions for Mr. Haberford?
Nope.
Seeing none, under curriculum instruction, Mr. Davies already mentioned it, Resolution 24 was to accept a recommendation superintendent made on July 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2025 for the HIB incident report. Are there any questions about that? Okay, we'll now move on to old business. Does anyone have any old business? I will say, as usual for the old business, that we have information on our websites. The Friday folder started up again. For parents and community members, please look at those correspondence. There's hours and hours that the superintendent works to put them together to give you the information. It's on the website, it's accessible in the folder. There's contact information for anyone to reach out. Please continue to look at those things and reach out to your building principals or the superintendent if they cannot answer your questions. Anyone have any new business?
I'd just like to remind everybody out there that the schools have started again, and kids are going to drop stuff in the street. They're going to run when they're not supposed to. Parents or mommies and daddies are going to give their kids hugs, and middle schoolers are going to drive looking at their phone. But there is one group of people that throw themselves into the traffic every single day, and all they have is a thin piece of sheet metal. And I personally witnessed 2 in the last week almost get hit by a car. So please tell your friends and family, anybody listen to this, they protect our most precious asset, so let's protect them. So please just be careful of the crossing guards and tell your friends and families to protect those crossing guards because they're protecting our kids.
Thank you, Mr. Dina.
Just have maybe one question for Jeremy. With this AI stuff going on now, how are we monitoring what students are doing with AI? I mean, we're getting, even at work, we're getting people just writing whatever corporate reports up on AI. We're getting resumes that, I know there was always people that wrote your resume for you and all that, but it just seems to be like getting larger and larger. So I don't know how you tackle that. I mean,
Yeah, it's very difficult. Our teachers are on the front lines of that, especially
Sure.
our ELA English teachers, social studies teachers. Oftentimes, what teachers are now resorting to is you're writing your essay in the classroom, and you don't have access to the internet, so that we can get a true sense of your writing skills. But at the same time, we have a responsibility to teach students appropriate use of AI. No one thinks it's going anywhere. So we're working with Ms. Rifkowitz, who is our technology facilitator, on, at the upper levels at least, how to make sure that if you're utilizing AI as a brainstorming partner, that could be a good thing, but then how do you then transition from a brainstorming partner to, now this is my own original work and my own original thinking? That's sometimes tough
Sure.
for certain kids
yeah,
to,
okay.
to navigate that. When am I cheating and when am I not cheating? When I'm just asking AI to spit back something to me. So it is difficult. Our teachers are struggling with it. As an administrative team, we're on it.
Okay.
And basically every workshop that I go to, any conference, there's always an AI
Okay,
piece of
thank
it,
you.
and so we're on it. yeah.
Okay,
There's also an NJSBA student panel. I saw it in our emails on October 8th. If a student wants to go with the administration, they have a panel asking students questions about AI. And that's something we want to explore, send
oh,
a
I would have used it
representative.
every second when I was a student.
Anthony, there is no doubt that is the truest thing you've said.
Anyone else, any comments under new business? We want to just reiterate what Mr. Davies already said, thanking all the community partners, the PTO, the parents. You know, there's too many people to name, but everyone knows who they are. We had a very successful rollout of school. It really takes a village, not one group of people, to commit to the ongoing success of the school. No, thank you. If no one has anything else, we'll now open up the meeting to the public. Is there a motion to open up the meeting to the public?
Motion?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hudina, seconded by Mr. David. All those in favor of opening up the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carried. Mr. Ganella?
Yes, public comment will now be accepted. The Board of Education sets a limit for the public to speak at the board meeting to 5 minutes per person unless prior permission has been granted by the Board of Education for extended time pursuant to KBOE bylaw 0167. Please be reminded that while members of the public may speak on personnel matters during public comment, the board is legally prohibited from discussing individual personnel issues in public session unless the employee at issue has requested a public discussion. The board's role is to set policy and ensure the effective operation of our schools, while personnel recommendations are the exclusive responsibility of the school superintendent of schools. The board reviews and acts on these recommendations in accordance with state law and district policy, but does not initiate, manage individual staffing decisions.
Thank you. If there is any public that would like to comment at this time, please step up, state your name for the record, address. Any public that would like to comment?
Yeah, hi, Joey Grimaldi, 34 North 14th Street, right across from the Super Stadium. It really looks beautiful, and last time I was here, I asked about getting rifle and pistol shooting teams in David Brearley, and through many enjoyable conversations with Superintendent Davies, and be proud of what I'm saying. Don't get embarrassed. He is an educator at heart. He listened to all of my conversations. We had great conversations together. I learned about co-op programs where School A doesn't have this program, but School B does have this program, so they could join their forces together and become a co-op, and the school that has everything and the school that doesn't have everything, they'll combine. I had mentioned to Superintendent Davies that Seton Hall Prep has a already established rifle team, and I tried to connect him with the program director up there. I don't know if he ever got around to it with his busy schedule and all. And I gave Superintendent Davies good reading material that he could educate himself on firearms and such. And I hope he has read it over the summer. It wasn't anything deep or heavy like Tolstoy or anything like that. But I'm looking forward to working with you again, trying to put this together. And yes, I am well aware of all of the budgetary constraints and all of the societal pressures and parent angst and all of this. But I believe if not 25, 26, maybe 27, 28, I would love to see a David Brearley rifle and pistol team, because the shooting sports are good discipline, good training. It gives you a little bit of focus, and you will not see a rifle or pistol team member go out and shoot up his school, because he'll know the capabilities of the rifle and pistol, and he will know that it's not something just to use like that. He'll have respect for it, and he'll have respect for shooting sports. And that's it. I could go on and on and on, but I won't. Thank you very much, and I hope to continue our conversations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I did it under time.
Yes, you did. Thank you. Anyone else like to comment at this time? Any public like to comment?
Sure. Can I take this time? No.
I yield my time.
I'm not a senator. Good evening. My name is John Hammond. I live on North 14th Street as well. 100 North 14th Street, right across from third base on the baseball field. I got to witness the referendum in full effect throughout the past couple of years. It was managed very well, contained pretty well, except for some contractors at 4 or 5 in the morning occasionally. But other than that, it went great. One of the things I've spoken with 2 past superintendents. I know we've emailed yourself, Mr. Davies. You have a meeting this week with one of our other neighbors. We've asked for some additional safety measures put at the baseball field. Now, when my wife and I bought the house 12, 14 years ago, there was no wall. There was no wall that made it seem like it would be a competitive field, okay? I grew up in Old Bridge. I lived in Union for 10 years. We loved Kenilworth, loved the town, loved the downtown. Didn't realize it was a competitive baseball field. We've gotten pelted by baseballs over the years. Broken windows, damaged vehicles. The answer has always been, well, you have to go through your homeowner's insurance. The insurance company says you file additional claims, we're going to drop you, right? So in a pickle, we're starting to find baseballs now with the players getting bigger, faster, stronger. We're finding baseballs in our backyard, next to our deck and swimming pool, next to the shed, on the grass where the kids play. We don't let our kids play in the front. We don't let them ride their bikes in the driveway when there's games. I also respect the school by not cutting the grass and doing other things that will interfere with their enjoyment of the field. This year was especially worse. I guess with the construction of the gymnasium, they lost their batting cages. There was times where the police had to be called because there was some confrontations going on between the neighbors and the coaching staff. Asked them to move over to the softball field using a pitching machine. He said it didn't simulate real game activity because there's no grass on the infield, right? So didn't seem reasonable. What I'm asking for here from the board, and what I was hoping to be included in the budget referendum, that there's some money left over, maybe this is a reality, that we could put up some safety nets to keep baseballs from not only traveling, hitting my house, my neighbors' houses, but from traveling on the street and hitting cars going down the street, causing cars to break, veer, etc. There's a lot of accidents on 14th Street already. We've seen enough damage and risk. I was the one who called 911 when the minivan flipped over about a month or so ago and ran out there to help them. But I don't know of a baseball field that's on a road like that, on a residential street, that doesn't have some kind of safety netting to prevent the baseballs from going into the residence or into the street. The Little League has one for players that are this big. Why don't we have one for the high school? And why has it been ignored all these years, right? So it's growing frustration, it's growing safety concerns. And I'm the last person who wants to try to stop baseball in Kenilworth. I grew up playing baseball. I love baseball. We often sit on our front porch to watch the football games and sometimes the baseball games, but also to see that nothing hits our house or our cars so we can stop it if possible. But I'm asking for your help to provide that safety. I've done some research, connected with some folks. There are some legal precedent out there that says the burden of providing that safety belongs with the construction that came second. So if homes were built after a baseball field, the burden would be on the homeowner and the builder. Clearly, the school system was built after these houses. We're asking for the support of the board to do this. I'm hoping this could be done before the next baseball season so we can avoid any kind of legal matters, filing injunctions, etc. But we're kind of at our wits' end, myself and the neighbors. Not all of them are vocal. I know you're meeting with one who is. I respect everything you guys have done. I know it's not an easy task to do the things you do, 1,500 students, and the amount of schools that you have. But I'm asking for some help on this. So is there anybody who can give me some guidance as to how we might be able to proceed and peacefully coexist on 14th Street?
Thank you, Mr. Hammond. Sorry for the early morning beeping of the trucks and such throughout the construction, I know.
No worries. The classroom changes are actually worse, but we'll live with that.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I have that meeting scheduled, and I had spoken to, I think your wife earlier in June.
Yep.
And, you know, there were, you're correct, this past spring was a particularly tough season because the back gym where the team typically takes their batting practice was off limits the entire season. So all batting practice was happening on the baseball field. So probably quadruple the amount of pitches were thrown.
And then some, yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so I guess let me meet with the folks that I'm meeting with this week. Let me talk through some of the suggestions that I have in my head. The Finance and Facilities Committee just met today, but you know we can always take a look at you know the cost of things. That's just where we are at all times with the school district. Like, how much money do we devote to a net? So you know we want to make sure that you feel safe. We want to make sure your kids are safe. That of course is a priority. Your kids go to our school system. You know, but we also want to make sure that our baseball team can play and. I agree with you. I think there can be a happy medium that we find. I don't know exactly what that is right now, to be honest with you, but I think we can move forward. So let me have my meeting. And you're welcome to attend that meeting as well.
Yeah, and happy medium, I don't know that we're going to reach, short of a sufficient. When I first moved here and started getting pelted by baseballs, I asked for remediation, and they essentially doubled the 6-foot fence in front of the that doesn't stop pop-ups and fly balls from going into my house, breaking my windows, damaging vehicles, and threatening safety of my kids. So there won't be a happy medium without some type of safety measure that is sufficient and hopefully agreed upon maybe by a third party or an engineering firm in terms of what would be sufficient to keep the balls from going out of play and into the neighborhood, right?
Because I'm thinking the nets would have to be, depending where your house is, the nets would have to be, and the poles for nets would have to be extremely high. I mean, not just 10 feet, or they probably have to be like
absolutely.
50 feet high.
Higher, yes.
Or more.
We've done some research on this, yeah.
So,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Okay, thank
The
you.
time has exceeded. Mr. Davies will reach out to you, and then we'll
Sounds
continue
good.
this conversation. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to step up and make any comments at this time? We appreciate everyone's comments. Thank you. If not, we'll now move on to close the meeting to the public. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. David, seconded by Mr. Biner. All those in favor of closing the meeting to the public, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion's carried. The meeting is now closed to the public. Mr. Ganella, are we ready to vote on roll call of resolutions, please?
Yes, there are 24 resolutions on this evening's agenda. Do any of those need to be voted on separately? Okay. Biner?
Yes.
Crincoli?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Tabitha?
Yes.
Hardina?
Yes.
Ladati?
Yes.
Zimmerman?
Yes.
Panici?
Yes.
Motion's carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a need to go into closed executive session?
No.
Okay, can I please have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Motion made by Mr. Haberthor, seconded by Mr. David. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried. The meeting is now open to the public. We'll take a quick 5-minute break, and we have a personnel.